Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Muhammad HAZEEQ bin BADOR ESAM from PI009E22, and today I will be giving a tutorial on how to make a straight line graph and a bar chart using Microsoft Excel. So the first thing you need to do when you open your computer is you're going to go to the search bar and search for Microsoft Excel. So once you've done that, you're going to click on the blank workbook, but I've created one for this tutorial. So the first part of this tutorial is we're going to make a straight line graph, and for the second part, we're going to do a bar chart. So for the first part, for the straight line graph, this is the data set that we're going to be using. So you can pause the video and copy this data set. So once you've copied this data set, you need to note that the data set on column A is for the horizontal axis, the x-axis, and the data set on column B is for the y-axis, the vertical axis. So to get started, I'm going to click on a cell of the data, click on it, hold, and then drag your cursor so that it covers all the data. Once you've done that, you're going to go up here on the tab up here, click on Insert, and then go to this chart over here. It's called the Insert Scatter X, Y, or Bubble Chart. So you're going to click on that, and there's a few options here, but we're going to use the first option, the top left one. So as you can see here, there's a basic graph. So what we want to make is that we're going to make it as detailed as we like. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it on this using this plus symbol. So you're going to click on that, and when you click on it, there is a list of chart elements. So the first one is we want to label our graph and our axis. So we're going to tick on the axis titles box. So you can see that both axes now has an axis title. So what you can do is you can edit those. So to edit those, you can go move your cursor above this text box, double click on it, and then hold and click your cursor and move it so that it covers all of it. And so we're going to name it graph of circumference / diameter. Now you do the same thing for both axis titles. So on the y-axis, it is circumference, and then on the x-axis, it is diameter. So now that we've done that, we've created a title of the graph and also labeled both of the axes. Now we're going to change the grid line. So to change the grid line, we're going to go back to our chart elements. I'm going to go to grid lines. There's a little arrow. We're going to click on that, and then there's two more boxes that we could tick here. So we're going to click on both of those. So as you can see here, the graph has become more detailed and there's more lines so that it is more detailed. So now we're going to make a line that passes through this straight line and all the points. So you're going to go on trend line and tick on that box. So now there's a dotted straight line that passes through all the points. What we need to make is a straight line that passes through the origin and all of the points. So to make that, we're going to go to Insert, click on Insert, then you see Illustrations, click on that, and then click on Shapes. Now from the shape, we're going to go to Lines and pick the basic line here. So once you've done that, your cursor will become a little cross. So you're going to align this cross to the origin of your graph, and then if it's a little bit hard, you can zoom in a little bit. So once you've zoomed in, you can click, hold, and drag your cursor. Make sure you hold it and use the trend line that you just created as a guide for that little straight line. So when you're satisfied, you can let go of your hold, and then you have created a straight line that passes through the origin and the dotted points. So now we can remove the trend line that we've just created. Now we have a complete graph. Now with this graph, you could do a variety of things. You could change the styles or the colors from this paintbrush symbol below the charts element symbol. So there's a lot of a lot of styles that you could choose from. And once you pick a style or color, you can also adjust the size depending on your creativity, but make sure to readjust your straight line that you've just drawn. So once you've done that, you're going to need to save. Press on the little button over here at the top. When you first save this document, you're going to save as, and you need to create a name for this worksheet. So just use this name, straight line graph and bar chart. So that is the completed straight line graph, and that is the end of part 1. So let's move on to part 2. So part 2, we're going to be making a bar chart. And so for this bar chart, we're going to be using this data set. So this data set is about the comparison of profits between 2021 and 2022. So just like the previous graph, the one on the left, on the A column, is for the horizontal axis, and the one on the y-axis is the right side. So these both, the one in the B column and the C column, is for the y-axis. So once you've copied this data set, you can pause the video, copy this data set. Once you've done that, we're going to do the same thing we did for the straight line graph. We're going to click on the cell, and then click, hold and drag your cursor so that it covers all of the data. Once you've done that, go to the tab up here, click on insert, and go to the first option, which is the insert column or bar chart. Click on that, and then there's a variety of options here, but we're going to go for the basic one, which is the 2D column here, first option. Click on that. So now once you've clicked on that, you've got a basic graph here. So we're going to edit this graph just like we did for the straight line graph. So what you're going to do is that we're going to make a title for this bar chart and also label the axis. So do the same thing, click on chart elements and go to axis titles and tick the box. Now we can edit the title of our bar chart and also the axis. So for the title, double click and then drag your cursor so that it covers all of the text box, and then write bar chart of comparison of profit. Now we're going to label the axis. So for the y-axis, do the same thing, double click, hold your cursor and then drag it, and then we're going to type profit. And then for the x-axis, the horizontal axis, we're going to label it as semester/month. So now we're going to make the grid line of this graph detailed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to grid lines, click on the little arrow beside it, and tick all the boxes just like we did for the straight line graph. So now the graph is a lot more detailed, and basically this is your completed bar chart. So just like the straight line graph, there is a variety of styles and colors that you can choose from using this paintbrush symbol. So once you pick a style or color, there's a lot of this, and then you can also, just like the straight line graph, adjust the size of the graph, whether you want to make it shorter, want to make it wider, just bigger in general. It's all up to your creativity. So now your bar chart is complete, and so once you've done that, you can go ahead and press the button over here to save your worksheet. So with that, that is the end of this tutorial. I hope it has been helpful for you, and I would like to thank you for watching. So goodbye.